Good morning. I'm Ileana Varela with the Herbert Wertheim College of Medicine at FIU.
And I'm Jim Hodge, President and CEO of the Children's Trust. Together, we welcome you to our children.
Making sure children are healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeeding in school and in life. This is Our Children, a program brought to you by the Children's Trust.
Each year, the Children's Trust holds a very special event honoring the people and programs that have set the highest example of excellence in their service to children and families. So, what do you say we begin with a quick recap of this extraordinary day?
Welcome to the 13th Annual Champions for Children Awards Ceremony.
What a great day for Miami. 1,000 people who are dedicated to children and families in Miami-Dade. Yeah.
Well, one thing's for sure, all of you are the lifeblood of this community, and I can't thank you enough.
And we're halfway there. Ladies and gentlemen, a treasure in our community, Judge Cindy Lederman.
I'm truly privileged and honored to have labored with so many of you for so very long.
There's so much need for children in this community.
No matter how good we are, we know that we can always become better.
Happy dance. Woo! 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 Thank you once again.
Some of the award recipients are trailblazers in their field, but many simply labor in the shadows. What they have in common is their passion for helping children. Today we're going to share their emotional stories, beginning with this year's recipient of the David Lawrence Jr. Champion for Children Award, the Honorable Judge Cindy Lederman.
Gloria Steinem said that law and justice are not always the same, and particularly for those who are vulnerable, particularly for those who, it's trite, but we say don't have a voice.
Judge Cindy Lederman has dedicated her life's work to helping children who would otherwise have no one else in their corner. During her quarter century in the Miami-Dade juvenile court system, she was the innovator who brought science and research into the courtroom to better understand all the ways in which children can be helped.
Early on, Judge Lederman was the one who understood that if you're not testing what you're doing and you're not looking at science, you really don't know if something works at all.
Through her work with the National Research Council and Institute of Medicine at the National Academy of Sciences, Judge Lederman learned to approach her decisions from the bench in a more empirical way.
I realized that we need to start asking questions like, how do you know these things work? There's so much social science that is essential for us to make better decisions, because law's the easy part. It's well-being, it's best interests, it's healing, it's rehabilitation. And how can we do that just with the law?
To support the marriage of science and law, Judge Lederman founded Research and Reform for Children in the Court, an organization that today serves as a resource to the entire child welfare system. She also works closely with university educators and child welfare experts, making her courtroom a national model for groundbreaking programs.
It's easy to remove a child, but it's much tougher to reform a family. And I think what Judge Lederman does is bring the knowledge of the need of that child, and if she can work with the family, she does that to make it happen.
She is a tenacious seeker of knowledge, and she emits a practice model that is about understanding the families and the children that come before her every day.
Thanks to a fellowship from 0 to 3, A great deal of her effort is focused on helping babies and educating their parents to help break the intergenerational cycle of child abuse. She pioneered the concept of baby courts and has co-authored books and created training programs to teach other judges to do the same.
When I have a teenager who comes in who's running away and using drugs, and I don't think there's a science about how to help them. We just do the best we can. But babies, completely different situation. We know a qualified, quality, accredited child welfare early intervention program will help them. And these are the children who have the greatest chance of overcoming the traumas and the neglect and to lead productive lives.
To accomplish this goal, she relies on the concept of parent-child psychotherapy, a treatment protocol for trauma-exposed children from birth to 5 years old that aims to support and strengthen the child-parent relationship.
We have increased the quality of our programs because our goal is not just to have them come into the system, close their case and walk away. The children don't deserve that. We need to try to solve what's wrong so that they don't come back in the system.
As part of her illustrious career, Judge Lederman was also instrumental in the creation and development of the Miami-Dade County Children's Courthouse, a project 15 years in the making.
We've had the most amazing architect who came here and spent time with us. He even said, what do you want this to feel like? What are these families like? I don't think there's a courthouse for children like this anywhere else.
She has touched and changed so many hundreds of lives. She's given so many children and families hope that she can leave the system, but her legacy in these families will live on from generation to generation.
Judge Lederman is the embodiment of what the David Lawrence Award was designed for. As a trailblazer, she has set the path for the rest of us to follow.
Covered her courtroom many times. Such dedication to children. And another champion in the legal arena is the recipient of this year's Public Policy Award. His activism inside and outside the courtroom is all about making sure kids who make mistakes get a fighting chance to grow up and thrive outside the glare of the criminal justice system. I'm talking about Miami-Dade Public Defender Carlos Martinez.
It's an incredible joy to realize that people can overcome the obstacles. And the important part is every one of those fuels me because it makes me work harder.
Miami-Dade Public Defender Carlos Martinez has spent almost 30 years helping people overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. His #1 objective is to help juvenile offenders overcome their circumstances to lead full and productive lives.
He goes above and beyond just providing good legal representation. He understands that it's going to take a lot more than that to really address some of the systemic issues and the root causes of juvenile delinquency.
Martinez and his family came to Miami from Cuba in 1969. He grew up in Little Havana, where both his parents held modest jobs at the church at San Juan Bosco. And it was through his own childhood experiences that he came to understand the struggle so typical of the underserved.
When I see kids a lot of times making the same type of mistakes that I did, it just boggles my mind that we think that there are many adults. To me, it's become my life's work to make sure that we're focusing on giving children the opportunity to grow up.
To that end, he consistently uses his department's best resources to ensure that juvenile offenders are treated like kids and not like hardened adult criminals.
He totally professionalized the juvenile division. He made sure that it had very experienced attorneys, 20 years, 30 years of experience as adult felony attorneys that trained at the best training facilities.
Martinez understands that legal representation is only part of the solution. So he's out in the community, working alongside crime prevention organizations to connect children and families with resources to interrupt the cradle-to-prison pipeline.
He rolls up his sleeves, he goes out there, knocks on doors, meets people, connects them to services, and has been doing that for a long time.
An outside-the-box thinker, he's always envisioning new ways to improve outcomes for juvenile offenders. One of his creative solutions is literally a work of art.
Carlos got an art grant, got the artist, went into the adult jail where the children who had been direct filed, and the artist worked with these children to produce this incredible art piece. And all of a sudden, they were kids. And if we looked at those kids that way, we would legislate differently.
And changing laws that impact kids has certainly been a priority. Martinez helped increase the confidentiality of juvenile records while also reducing the period for arrest records to be expunged. He worked to prohibit shackles in juvenile court and mandatory life sentences for juveniles in adult court. He also was instrumental in eliminating arrests for minor offenses in school.
Carlos was the guy that really helped shape legislation to make sure that kids were treated in a fair way.
He also dedicates his free time to mentoring youth through various organizations like Big Brothers Big Sisters, where he's had a major impact in the life of his little brother, Hugo.
He was my big brother, but he was more like a second dad to me.
Martinez's body of work is changing the lives of young people like Damien Duncan, who was incarcerated at age 15 and was direct filed after his second offense. Through an aggressive plea deal, Damien was released and is now rehabilitated, employed, and a budding musician.
All the defenders, they are good. Big thanks, to Carlos, Ms. Martinez for, running that, because it is making difference towards everybody.
Carlos is one of those driven by that love of humanity and love for people, love for justice.
From dispensing sage advice and encouraging smiles at Actors Playhouse to training kids for the bright lights of Broadway, this year's Excellence in Direct Service honoree has run arts education programs for the past 30 years. This is Earl Maulding's inspirational story.
I never went into this business to make a lot of money. My payment every day are those little faces.
All right, here we go. A 5, 6, 7.
That's right. When you're in
Earl Maulding is never off stage. During his 30-year tenure as Director of Theater for Young Audiences for the Actors Playhouse at the Miracle Theater, he has impacted the lives of millions of children through his work directing theater for children, as well as a variety of acting and musical programs for young performers.
Earl's an amazing, passionate, dedicated professional who loves what he does, and he especially loves the work he does with young people.
Earl has directed hundreds of children's plays using professional actors that bring over 60,000 school-aged children to the Actors Playhouse each year. He also works day and night, putting endless hours of dedication to inspire and encourage young people to do their best and to overcome their fears and perceived limitations to reach their goals, proving that no challenge is unsurmountable. Orrin Jacobs raves about the impact Earl has had on his son, Seth, who is on the autism spectrum. He's been acting in Earl's Musical Miracles Advanced Conservatory for 4 years and has made unbelievable strides.
Earl really saw the potential in Zev, and so Zev has really gained an amazing amount of confidence and social interaction because he didn't have that before.
When I come to the theater, I actually really love to see my friends there. I just feel very lucky to have Earl, who can really direct. It's amazing.
Athena Buchanan's, another Maulding student, was just accepted into New World School of the Arts.
Earl has really helped me grow. He's pushed me beyond my boundaries, like what I thought I couldn't do. He's really helped me grow, not only as an actress, but as a person.
One of Earl's most exciting and rewarding endeavors is being artistic director for Young Talent Big Dreams, a collaborative initiative between the Children's Trust and the Actors Playhouse, created to inspire kids to showcase their unique gifts and compete for a chance to win life-changing prizes. Earl thoroughly enjoys mentoring the kids and helping them discover their inner performers.
There's those moments, and you can see it because they start out nervous, and then there's that moment when they relax, and that performer that's been living inside them, there suddenly springs out. They know it too, and they're like, wow.
One of those young performers is Diane Lee, who competed in Young Talent Big Dreams at age 9, made it to the semifinals, and now at age 12, studies with Earl in Musical Miracles.
I was really nervous during the semifinals, and Earl just told me to relax. He was really caring, and over the years I've grown so much as an actress and singer.
Earl's impact goes beyond the local community into the national and international stages, with many of his students embarking on professional acting careers.
We have developed so many young people who have reached star-like careers. Some of our people that have come through our programs have even had starring roles on Broadway.
If it weren't for Earl, I wouldn't be here today. He's the reason why I started acting, and I'm still acting to this day.
Earl attributes the success of his life's work to nurturing young people while challenging them to become their best.
30 years has passed quickly, and all the students that have come through and have toured nationally and done feature films and been on Broadway is a wonderful tribute. But that next child next weekend that steps on the stage and there's a new light that shines, that's what this is about.
Earl, absolutely one of everyone's favorites. And no less dedicated are the founders of Concerned African Women. These ladies started a program with one goal in mind and then changed course when they realized the needs were far greater than they had imagined. Let's watch this story about our first of 3 programs of the year.
Today, I pledge to believe in me.
Concerned African Women was founded almost 30 years ago by a team of 3 volunteers who saw a need for Black children to learn more about their history and heritage.
We wanted them to experience and understand that they came from greatness and there were heroes and sheroes that they could emulate and that they could accomplish whatever they wanted to.
To this day, all of its programs incorporate African history, culture, language, and self-identity.
Africa, now watch you walk it. Be my kitty, Africa.
But when the founders discovered that most of their pupils were illiterate, teaching the children to read superseded African heritage as a primary focus. Today, they're doing what they set out to do: help youth rise above their circumstances and so much more.
Concerned African Women actually fits everywhere. We do after school, we do parenting, we do empowerment, we do advocacy. We provide wraparound care coordination.
The program currently serves over 1,500 families each year in a variety of ways, with programs geared towards prevention, diversion, and intervention. One of the ways in which they do this is through the New Dimensions in Parenting classes, a year-long program that aims to enhance relationship skill building and parental engagement.
I learned better communication skills and how to deal with the problems that come up.
You see a total transformation. They come alive, they start to share, they recognize the fact that they are not the only ones, and it is amazing to watch that.
Concerned African Women also operates evidence-based after-school programs uniquely tailored to the individual learning needs of each child, with the goal of improving academic performance, attendance, and standardized test scores.
One of our purposes is to assist them with improving their literacy level, training our staff to do those things that will help our children to become better.
All in a loving and safe space that makes both parents and kids happy.
I like when we read books and when my teacher teaches me new words, new things.
It's amazing. It gives my mom more time to go do what she has to do, and she knows I'm in a safe place.
Besides all of the programs and services it offers, Concerned African Women partners with more than 30 community organizations to offer a wide array of additional support to the communities being served.
We are a major part of making that village work.
We know that 93% of the children who come to us improve in reading scores. 98% of them do not rearrest within a year after having our program. We know that the parents are coming through with dynamic results in their relationships internally with their family members.
The goal is to achieve excellence individually and collectively so that we can bring about a strong change in our community.
Getting good grades is important, but one of the biggest obstacles to learning is poor health. That's why staff at our next program of the year work so hard to make sure kids have a healthy body and a healthy mind. Let's take a look at Fit Kids of America.
Our motto is fit mind, fit body, fit kids of America. We want our children to be A students, but we want them to be healthy A students.
Physical fitness is at the heart of Fit Kids of America. The program, funded in part by the Children's Trust, is laser focused on health and well-being, tackling head-on the growing obesity epidemic that's plaguing more and more of America's youth.
Hands on your head. Everybody ready? Yeah! I can't hear you. Ready? Yeah!
The more you move, the better you feel, the better circulation you have. And the list goes on and on of the benefits that you receive through physical activity.
This unique focus on fitness and well-being for young children fills an important niche in the community, something that school administrators affiliated with the program, like school principal Frances Nobregas, greatly appreciate.
We've had either children who have been very overweight at some point that didn't really have anywhere to go after school for activities like sports. So after they finish their homework, they're allowed to do different kinds of sports activities.
Fit Kids has combined physical fitness, extracurricular activities, and homework help in an all-inclusive after-school program for nearly 20 years. Certified teachers and educators are dedicated to serving more than 250 children daily, providing working parents with invaluable support.
We offer a very comprehensive program. Most of our parents in our community are not English speakers, and the children are not as well. So we have a lifeline for our parents. The community has called us the homework experts.
Yeah, very good.
The value to the family is to make sure that when your child gets home, that they have their homework done and done correctly, and it kind of puts the family at ease.
Fit Kids also strives to serve the entire community, regardless of a family's circumstances or its ability to pay, which is a saving grace for single mom Maura Quintana.
I have nowhere to go. I was desperate because I needed to work without no money. I have my kids to take care of. They have free meals. They do the iReady on the computer, something that I cannot even afford it because I don't have a computer either.
Mom Summer Paramo, whose 2 children suffer from a congenital metabolic disease, also raves about the program and the individualized attention her children receive.
They've always treated my kids really special and went out of their way to help them. Both of my kids have a disease called F-pies, so they're allergic to a lot of things, so they've always been very careful with them and the foods that they eat.
No is not in our vocabulary. We're an inclusion facility, so everyone has different needs, and whatever those needs are, we have accommodations for them.
They service the whole child, the emotional needs of children, their academic needs, their health, family needs.
My kids are grown up now, but I know how tough it is having to entrust your young child to strangers while you're at work. It's an anxiety-filled decision. How do you choose the best place? There are many critical factors parents must consider. Those who selected Holy Cross Lutheran School know they've made the right choice, and so do we.
Good morning.
Nestled in the heart of North Miami lies a gem of a school that has been serving the community with the highest quality education for almost 70 years. Holy Cross Lutheran School, an extension of Holy Cross Lutheran Church, serves an ethically diverse population of children, fostering academic excellence and a nurturing environment that embraces one and all.
We try to create an aura of family and safety and security in a community that is not necessarily always safe and secure. And we want everybody, when they come into our grounds, to feel like they're part of our family.
The school's faculty and administration work with parents, students, and the community to exemplify unity and strength as they focus less on their differences and more on their similarities, all working towards the same goal of making a difference in the lives of others.
We have different denominations, different cultures,
different students that are from all arrays of life, and that's what I love about Holy Cross.
Beyond teaching their students to read, write, add, and subtract, the school strives to be a source of support for every family.
When we see a child that needs a little extra attention, or maybe if they need a pair of shoes because the parents can afford it, we're always going above and beyond.
They recognize the importance of family involvement and practice an open-door policy that strongly encourages parent participation.
We feel as though children who see their parents that are involved in school, that they care enough to take time away from their jobs and their lives to participate in any kind of a class activity or field trip. They see their parents' involvement and they realize that their education is very important.
Holy Cross allows the parents to participate and get involved. It's wonderful.
And just as Holy Cross Lutheran School serves as a source of support in its community, that sense of support and trust exists within the program itself to the delight of the staff, all of whom have been with the school for well over a decade.
We trust the faculty and staff, and they trust us, and the people in the congregation have that trust level, and when all those things work together, it's a blessing.
I love it here. I can't see myself anywhere else. This is a beautiful environment. Good job, proud of you.
Another part of the school's appeal is its participation in Quality Counts, Miami-Dade County's quality rating and improvement system for early childhood education programs, funded by the Children's Trust in collaboration with the Early Learning Coalition. One of the goals of the initiative is to increase teacher qualifications.
We attend many workshops every year, online or in person. They look at everything. They look at your classrooms, the materials that you have, the relationship that the teacher has with the child.
It is through its holistic approach that Holy Cross Lutheran School nurtures each child while staying in tune with their individual needs and strengths, helping them find their identity, meaning, and purpose in life.
So many kids today don't belong. They don't know where their niche is, and we become their home. And over the years, a number of stories that I could tell you about the kids returning because they were loved here.
You can feel it when you walk around the school. You can feel the love in everybody. It's amazing.
It is our pleasure to bring these wonderful stories to light. Since our inception in 2002, the Children's Trust has supported many wonderful programs with the help of taxpayer dollars. And next year, we will expand our reach even further.
On behalf of the Children's Trust and Jim Hodge, thanks for watching this edition of Our Children.
Our Children is brought to you by the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust invests in programs and services that help make children healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeed in school and in life. To access its funded programs and services in Miami-Dade County, visit thechildrenstrust.org, because all children are our children.